Hey, what's going on YouTube? UA Reviews here. And today I have a shoulder pad review on two youth shoulder pads from Riddell. Today I have the Riddell Volt JPK AP shoulder pads. And then I also have the Riddell JPK SK shoulder pads. So the reason I'm coming to you with this review is I've used both these styles of shoulder pads in my youth football team, and I've been very satisfied with both of these sets of pads. And I just kind of want to tell you kind of the similar differences, kind of look at the price points, and just because I had not seen a review on this set of shoulder pads on the Volts, so that's kind of where we're going to start with today, is just kind of comparing both of them and kind of looking at some of the positions that could use this shoulder pad. When you look at this style of shoulder pad being a youth shoulder pad, I think Riddell makes some of the best youth shoulder pads, as well as some of the best varsity level and pro level shoulder pads you can get. So I always expect high quality of anything that comes from Riddell, and there's, you know, I can say the same thing about these two sets of shoulder pads. So I actually have 4 pairs, 2 of each of these styles. I've got an extra large set of the JPKs, SKs, and then I've got a small pair of them, and I've got 2 mediums of the Volts. And I picked these up this year for Pee Wee football, and just thought this would be a really good shoulder pad for some of my kids, and I ended up using them, and the kids that wore them really enjoyed them. But looking into the review of both of these, I'm going to start just by kind of saying, when you look at these shoulder pads side by side, they are very similar. And the reason you look at that, the reason that I say is, you know, they kind of share kind of the same shell design, as far as, you know, you can tell, like right here, you know, the style of them, you know, right here along the sides going up, kind of is the same on both. The one main difference is the Volts actually come with a detachable backplate. The backplate comes attached when you buy them at stores. And by the way, the only place I've ever seen the Volts sold or anywhere is on DickSportingGoods.com, and Dick's Sporting Goods is actually in their store, and it's where I picked up this set, is in store. But kind of looking at the price points on both of these, the Volts retail for $149.99, and the JP SKs, they retail for $189. So there's a good $30 difference or so in these shoulder pads. But some of the differences that, when you look at them side by side, I mean, are they really worth, you know, the price differences? So that's what I'm kind of look at today is also. I'm going to start with the Volts, kind of review them here, and just kind of look at each thing. As you can see, as well on both of these, I won't have to say this twice, but both of them have these padded flaps here to kind of protect your clavicle or your collarbone area, just as a little added protection. You see this style on a lot of like lineman and running back pads, so I really do think this set actually makes a really good youth, junior high level running back or lineman shoulder pad, as well as good for linebackers as well, wearing these shoulder pads. Actually, the 2 pairs of Volt shoulder pads that I issued this year, those 2 both went to linemen. Just that they fit the mold of, you know, this style of, you know, this does fit a little more of a bigger kid, so that's kind of, I put them in linemen. You know, it's got the normal pads that you would expect, you know, to cover your shoulder joints and all that. Make sure, you know, you always measure up on these. These are actually mediums, so you can see the sizing there. And then what I like definitely about both of these pads, and they come with the PVC belt straps, so you can kind of adjust it however. You don't have to worry about buckles, you don't have to worry about them coming off. They're pretty much attached. You don't have to worry about anything like that. And that's what makes, you know, I really do think buying these buckled shoulder pads is good for youth level, so that they don't lose their buckles. Because that's one thing I deal with a lot is kids losing their buckles off their shoulder pads because they're not tightened right. Definitely one of the cool things about this is it comes with a detachable backplate, being that it's got the Riddell Power stamp on there. Looks really cool. It's in this Volt green color, which just looks really awesome, and the shell design is in a matte black colorway, and it just looks really awesome. There's only one color that you can get in this, and it's obviously the Volt color, but these shoulder pads just look, I just think they look awesome. So, and then here's my other set of them. So, I do have 2 sets. So they're just some of my favorite shoulder pads that I've issued out, and I definitely think they'll stay around in my program. Next, I'm just going to talk a little more about the AP, the Riddell the JPK SK shoulder pads. And the SK, I found out it kind of stands, I believe it stands for skill. So, but at the same time, you look at this and it still kind of holds the same mold as the Volt shoulder pads. So it's got the flaps, and they're kind of hard to see on camera, but you can see that they've got the front pads. Nothing on the back, however. But when you look at these, they do have the same shell design, the same pad design. The only thing that's kind of different on these, and both of these have it on both sets, I have the small and the extra large pair, is the Ripcord. Ripcord is something that was introduced a few years ago by Riddell, and basically all it is it's just a little zip tie in here, and if there was ever a need for the shoulder pads to be cut off, if a player was hurt, it's no longer they'd have to cut through the shoulder pads and basically destroy them or whatever, but you cut that and it allows this to come straight off, and it's kind of neat. You can watch videos on it and show how it's actually used, and it's definitely a good safety feature that these pads hold. You can also, if need be, you can remove all this and remove it from the actual shell pad itself, and that just velcros back on there. But really with these shoulder pads, the price point being that it's $189, it's a lot, and after tax you'd be spending $200, even if you order them online and shipping everything. $200 for a set of youth pads, it's kind of questionable in my mind, but I actually found these on sale, and I actually found a set at Play It Again Sports and got them, I think these for just like $34, but and they were still in really decent shape. So my whole thing is just keep them safe keeping them in check, make sure everything's still good on them, make sure the pads and they stay clean every year. So really the big difference, and really there's another major difference on the inside, and it's kind of hard to see, but there are these little pads here on the inside. I'm going to try to get them to show here, but right here you can see this pad right here, and it'll actually remove, so you can take that out, and it's just a little bit, it's probably a ½ inch thick, but it's just a pad that just velcros, and you just stick it back on there, and then if you need to take them off, you can take it off for a better fit. So really, when I look at these 2 shoulder pads side by side, I look at, both of these are an all-purpose shoulder pad, being they can, at a youth, junior varsity kind of level, or junior high football level, these could fit any position. The one or two positions I would be questionable on would be quarterback and receiver, being that receivers and quarterbacks be able to extend their hands or extend their arms out and be able to have a decent throwing motion but with these pads in the way, I don't know if it's doable that way. I will say that this small set of shoulder pads I fit a running back in, and he was a running back and linebacker, so and then the other set, the extra large pair, was used by another lineman that I had. But I will say, I think for your money, it's better to look at the Volt shoulder pads, just for, being that, you're getting everything except the Ripcord technology and the removable pads on the inside. So that's kind of my review on them. If you have any more questions on any of these shoulder pads, please give me any comments down below, and I'll answer them and see if I can help you out and maybe trying to find these or find them at a better price or something like that. I can do anything like that or answer any questions you have. So that's going to be the end of this review. I just want to say thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.